What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your second stimulus check update. And in this video, we're going to go over several details about the second stimulus check coming out and also the unemployment extension. But first, if you haven't yet, click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on second stimulus check update videos. My wife and I do all the research for you every single day so we can bring you all the information in a quick, concise video. And don't forget to smash the like button for us down below. It really helps out our channel. Also, I want to say I hope you guys had an amazing Labor Day weekend. Let us know what you guys did for Labor Day down below in the comments. I have read through a bunch of them already from previous videos, and it's good to see the American spirit going out and just living life, enjoying family, and all that good stuff. We had some good weather yesterday here in Ohio, but today has been pouring rain the whole day and loud booming thunder. So it's been a crazy weekend. Okay, first up, the federal unemployment bonus money, the unemployment stimulus money for people, the extra bonus money, is likely to run out this week. And that is going to mean a couple different things, including stimulus checks and how they relate to each other. They're actually very tightly intertwined. Both Republicans and Democrats want both stimulus checks and unemployment extension. And as we get down to the wire here before the election, we're going to see a lot of information with both of those, and the fate of both of the unemployment extension and the stimulus checks are kind of intertwined with each other. So number one, the federal unemployment boost money, the unemployment boost money, is probably going to be running out this week. FEMA has said that they're running out of money and it should be running out this week. Now that's very interesting because a lot of states haven't even gotten their money yet. So we don't really know the details of what's going to happen with that. Is that money still earmarked for those states and they're still going to get it? I think that's what's going to happen, but as more details get released, I will update you guys. Also, because this unemployment extension is running out, it's going to light a new fire underneath Congress and the president to get more stimulus checks and unemployment boost out quickly, because now that that money's ran out again and the election's coming, they're going to want to renew that. And the Democrats have been wanting to renew that all along, but they've been very, Nancy Pelosi's just kind of dug her heels in and she was stuck on the full $600. And the Republicans actually offered her a 1 or 2 week extension of the $600. This is way back like a month ago, and Nancy Pelosi turned it down and said that no, she wasn't going to agree on just a short-term temporary extension of that $600. And then what happened is no extension came, and then the president stepped in and passed those presidential executive orders. Looking back, she probably should have taken that, because even if it was 1 or 2 weeks, it would have been extra money for people in their pocket to get them through this pandemic and being unemployed right now. So what's going to happen now that the unemployment money is running out again? This money is from the presidential executive order. And what he did is he kind of shifted money around from the disaster relief fund, and that money is now running out. So now it creates another sense of urgency that, hey, we have to pass a stimulus package if we want this unemployment extension to go out. And both Republicans and Democrats are for this. The Republicans used to not be for an unemployment extension several months ago, okay? That Mitch McConnell, every time you heard Mitch McConnell speak, it was, we don't want unemployment extension. We want people to go back to work. And, slowly they changed their tune. Now that we're very close to the election, they're like, we want more unemployment extension. Okay, and the president has said it multiple different times, we want an unemployment extension. So now that that's running out, the president did get 4 to 5 weeks at least of money to the unemployed people. They're going to have to try to either negotiate a stimulus package even more harder than they have, and this might bring the Republicans more willing to go closer to Nancy Pelosi's $2.2 trillion that she wants for the next stimulus package. that stimulus package of $2.2 trillion will have enough money in there for stimulus checks, $1,200 to Americans, and also checks to all dependents this time around. They need about $300 billion for if they want to do checks the exact same way from the first time around. If they want to give checks to all dependents this time around, so college students that got left out and adults that are a adult dependent, which means that they're a dependent on somebody's tax return. Their tax return claims them as a dependent. They didn't get a check most likely from the first time around. So if they do want to include those checks this time around, it might be closer to the $400 billion. And also if they end up doing checks instead of $500 for dependents, if they end up doing them at $1,200. So with unemployment running out, probably one of two things is going to happen. Nancy Pelosi is going to have to come down a little bit from her $2.2 trillion that she's stuck on. She's basically saying she wants a blank check for $2.2 trillion. She won't even tell the Republicans what she wants to spend the money on. She hasn't detailed it all. She's basically just saying, I want $2.2 trillion. I don't want to go any lower, and I also don't want to tell you what I'm going to spend that money on. I just want you to agree on $2.2 trillion, and then we'll work out the details because I already have your agreement in writing, okay? So the next thing is the Republicans could come up. They could be like, oh, unemployment extensions run out. The president's going to be up for re-election, and a lot of the Republicans and the Democrats are up for re-election too. So they're going to be like, we have less than 60 days. We need to come up closer to Nancy Pelosi and just get a deal done. So that unemployment extension is just another like fire that has been lit, underneath their their behinds. And now they have the unemployment running out, they have the stimulus checks, they have money for small businesses, money for schools that have already started. So it's one more piece of the puzzle that kind of creates urgency for them. And the president originally thought that this unemployment extension might go to the end of the year, but once they actually figured out how much money was in this disaster relief fund and the FEMA funds, there wasn't enough money. It looks like there was enough money for 5 weeks, maybe more. We'll have to see as the details come out this week. But the president wanted to pass that to the end of the year. That would have gotten him through the election, and either he gets reelected or doesn't, and by that point it's locked in stone. So he's going to want to renew that, and the president did announce this week that they have $300 billion sitting in an account that he wants to use to send direct stimulus checks out directly to the people. And if they can't get Congress to agree, and the Republicans and the Democrats, that he's exploring and his White House team is exploring ways to use this $300 for stimulus checks through a presidential executive order without any agreement by Congress. This is what he did with the unemployment extension. He basically took money that was already in a fund and switched it over and used it for a very similar thing for the unemployment. This $300 billion is already earmarked for virus relief and disaster relief. So that does kind of fall into the pandemic umbrella, which is what he would use the $1,200 checks for, is basically pandemic relief, aka stimulus check. Also, on which states are currently getting paid for the unemployment, there's over 45 different states that have been approved for the unemployment, and there's now a new category here, or a new column here, that says the date that they're estimated on getting paid. So a lot of these states that are payment pending means that they've been approved for the unemployment bonus money, but it hasn't gone out yet. So some of these states have a payment pending date now. The states that say paid already have already been paid, and the weeks say how many weeks they got paid in retroactive pay. A lot of states got 4 to 5 weeks in retroactive pay. California got 1, so they didn't get any retroactive pay, and Massachusetts got 3, and Minnesota got 3. You can see these different states here. These states that are applied aren't even payment pending yet, and they've been very slow on their paperwork. New York is also pretty far behind because their governor didn't want to accept the money from Trump at first, so that definitely put a delay in their filing. Let me scroll down here so you can see the other states here. And you can see a lot of these states are either paid or payment pending. A lot of these states have been coming online as paid just within the last few days. A lot of these states that are payment pending will probably be paid this week. A lot of them are going to be paid this week, if I had to guess. Each state's a little bit different because it depends on how far along or how shortly ago they got it processed, they got their payment pending, and if they have actually received the money yet and they can actually send the money out. Now, what's interesting is a lot of these states are just coming and getting their payments now, are going to be getting them this week, and the money's also going to run out this week. So, what's probably going to happen is a lot of states are going to probably pay a one-time payment with retroactive pay for maybe 4 to 5 weeks, and then the money's going to run out. So it's going to kind of all happen with a bang. And you guys can let me know down below if you are receiving your unemployment right now, if you got retroactive pay, if you know details about your specific states. This will help out a lot of our viewers down below for what specific state and what more information you may have about your specific state on when you should be receiving the checks. Let me scroll up here a little bit, but you can see a lot of these checks or a lot of these states have already been paid, and a lot of them are payment pending. There's more paid states coming online every couple days, and a lot of these states have been payment pending for several days already. So I think a lot of people are going to get their payments this week. So I will keep you guys updated as the situation unfolds. As this money is running out or will be running out this week or very shortly, it is going to create a lot more urgency for Congress and the White House to try to get something passed this week. The Republicans are also unveiling a stimulus package this week. We don't know what's in the bill yet. We don't know if it's going to be a skinny bill. We don't know if it's going to be a full-fledged bill because they haven't released the details. So if you've seen people saying the checks aren't in there or checks are in there or unemployment's in there, the fact is that they just haven't released those details yet, so we don't know those details yet. What we do know is that the Republicans have said two things. One, they've been having daily conference calls every morning to discuss the details and iron out the details of what to go in the stimulus package. Number two is that they want to make this stimulus package agreeable for Democrats so that when they do unveil it, it's not dead on arrival, and that the Democrats will actually be for it and will be willing to pass it, because if the Democrats aren't for it, the Republicans control the Senate but not the House. So the Republicans will be able to vote on it in the Senate and pass it as long as they get all the votes in the Senate. They only have a few vote lead there, so they have to get all the Republicans to agree, but that won't matter because then the Democrats won't pass it in the House where the Democrats have a larger majority. So they are going to need to get some Democrats at least to be on board with this bill to be able to pass it and get more stimulus to the people, whether it's through stimulus checks, the unemployment extension, PPP money, which is Paycheck Protection Program for small businesses and to pay the paychecks of their employees, and money for schools, and even money for cities, which the Democrats want also. So they're going to need to pass all this stuff in a pretty quick kind of manner so that they can get this stuff done before the election, because after the election, it's just going to be a completely different ball game. With is the president changing? Is he not changing? You know, did the Senate lose the majority of the Republicans? I think Nancy Pelosi is kind of hoping for that because the Republicans only have a few seat lead in the Senate. And if just a few seats change over to Democrats, then they could have both the House and the Senate being controlled by the Democrats. And if the president got reelected, that would be very interesting because Congress would be able to pass anything he wants, but then the president could veto it if the president was, still there. And if the president isn't still there and Joe Biden becomes president, they could have control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and then it could just be a free-for-all for the Democratic Party to pass whatever they want, and the Republicans wouldn't be able to do anything about it for at least 2 years until there's new re-elections in the House and the Senate. So we're going to have a lot of very interesting days coming up. That is for sure. I will keep you guys updated. Make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss out on videos. And you can click the bell icon down below next to the subscribe button if you want to get notified when I do go live with videos. I typically go live at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you guys can look out for those 10 a.m., 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget to smash the like button for us down below. It really helps out our channel. And you can click on these top videos to watch my newest stimulus check videos next. And this video teaches you how to start a business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have students that have replaced their entire 9-to-5 income, and I teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, and I will see you in the next video.